Okay, so this is Santa Isabel. My name is Wicho. I'm Wicho Valdés. I've been here for 20 years, but the farm has been here for producing coffee about 50 years. I am the third generation that works here. My father runs the coffee farm with me, and my grandfather was the one who started it in 1962.
I met Wicho in 2015. Metropolis went on an origin trip to Guatemala and El Salvador with an importer that we work with called Mercanta.
Normally we don't tend to talk with the final buyers, so this is very important for us because we can show you guys the real truth of what we do here. And I know that they tell the story, but sometimes it's better to come and see it for yourselves.
That year we cupped some Guatemalan offerings from Mercanta, and his was one of the coffees that stood out on the table. And unfortunately I didn't have room in my position at the time to bring it on. We were sort of full on coffees, but I told Mercanta, I said, this was a really great coffee. I'd love to see this again next year if you have it. And then next year rolled around, his coffee came across my cupping table, and it scored really well again. And I had room this time, so we bought it.
There are actually two farms, the two bodies of land. One is Santa Isabel and one is San Lorenzo, that is just like 3 or 4 miles away.
We cupped the San Lorenzo from Wicho, and knowing that the Santa Isabel historically had held up really well over time, we decided to purchase the San Lorenzo for our Cordillera and Spice Island blends.
After a 20-hour or so period of fermentation, natural fermentation, we wash the coffee, we soak it in water overnight, and after that we go out to the patios, drying phase with rain. We lay all the coffee beans in the patio and hand pick all that is not good. Like if there's any black bean or damaged bean, we try to pick it up by hand.
In my opinion, that's kind of the ideal way to buy coffee or to develop a relationship with a producer, is to sort of start small, get a feel for the coffee, get a feel for how it holds up, what you can expect from it, get to know the producer a little bit, their practices, and if that works well, sort of increase slowly. And I think our relationship with Wicho, Metropolis's relationship with Wicho, has been a really good example of that, of starting small and over the years just realizing this makes sense, this makes sense.
Besides a good point of picking, we also focus on a very slow drying. We think that helps a lot.
Mercanta, the importer that we work with, is committed to buying coffee based on quality. They don't book any coffees based on the C market, which means that if the C market fluctuates, which I think right now is under $1, which is incredibly low, so knowing that Mercanta buys coffee fairly, it's something we can feel really good about, buying more and more volume from Wicho and supporting him, knowing that he's getting paid good prices for his coffee and we're getting a really good product.
Something that all people should know is that behind that cup of coffee that they're drinking, there's a lot of work behind. A lot of work of Guatemalan people as of our coffee. There are a lot of families that rely on that work, on that cup of coffee that they are drinking. And we as producers also rely on the roaster's job to do it well, so that if we are doing a great job, we need somebody to help us finish that great job until the client gets it as a great cup. And it's not only the producing farm, the ones that should take the honor of a great coffee. It involves a lot of people.
It felt nice to sort of see that he was, I think, similar to Metropolis in a way of great coffee for everyone, that there's something to be said for doing a large volume of something really well instead of a small, tiny amount extraordinary. And I think that relationship works well for Metropolis and for Wicho.
We generate a lot of employment, and all of these guys go and spend their money in town, so at the end per each cup of coffee that you are drinking, you are generating an income to, I don't know, 50 families.
We do need, 600 bags of a really good Guatemalan coffee. And I think Wicho recognizes the importance of that he's running a business as well. It's not about the glitz and the glamour, it's about sustainability.
Salud.
Salud.
Thank you for the great coffee.
Okay, thank you for the visit.